Hey everybody, what's happening? This is Matt Ham, co-founder of UPrint, as well as our nonprofit ministry, the Life Center. Today I am joined by Dr. Greg Viehman of Seacoast Skin Surgery, also a ministry in a nonprofit that he runs, Everlasting Strength. Yeah, Dr. V, man, it's good to be with you.
Good to be with you.
So we go way back in the sense that, when I had my melanoma, which is, 7 years ago.
We're getting old.
Yeah, I know, man. You did that surgery on me, and we kind of connected and started to see about your journey, your book, The God Diagnosis, and just who you are, and we've kind of become friends there, and you certainly have been wonderful to partner with us. So kind of catch everybody up, like this dualistic thing that you do. You've got this skin surgeon, by day, one of the premier skin surgeons, and then you've got your ministry. So how did that kind of evolve, and how do you navigate that in this current atmosphere?
So back in 2008, when I was first saved, I was a skin surgeon.
Yeah.
And so the Lord showed me how to have ministry doing exactly what I've been doing, just doing it differently. So we take our medical practice and we make ourselves available for ministry when the opportunity arises. We give out books, we give out Bibles, we let people know this is what we're about, and then if they're interested or they have questions, we take the opportunity when they ask us. We give out my book in the clinic. We don't give it to people, we just put it out there and they can take it for free. So the Lord gives us lots of opportunity there for believers and unbelievers. There's believers who need some discipleship or encouragement or to get back on board, and then there's people seeking, trying to figure things out. We help them there. And so that's kind of integrated into my daily job.
Right. So
the Lord didn't change my career, He just showed me how I can do it for Him at the same time.
Sure.
And then on the side, I do the Everlasting Strength, which is a nonprofit. We do speaking, we do some charity giving to homeless people and stuff like that with funds that come in, and we give out the books whenever we go out and speak. Yeah.
So in this day and age, right, there's this taboo thing of your faith's over here and your business is over here. And part of kind of our heart at UPrint and what we do with our Faith and Business Initiative is saying, no, God didn't put a wall between your faith and your business. It is all your life, and it is all driven by your faith. Yet culture always wants to kind of fight back against that idea. So for somebody who's watching this, who maybe has an interest of wanting to integrate their faith more into their business, what's been the experience for you of that, and what kind of pushback have you received, but also too, how have you seen God move in that?
Yeah, I think you say no, because there is no compartmentalization.
Yes.
It's impossible. God has given you whatever business and career you have, and He can take it away if He wants. So live it for Him, do it for Him, and what you do is you start by just saying, okay, Lord, how do I do this for you? You pray. And then He will just put it on your heart, and things will start to happen, and He'll show you how to do it. He understands that the world wants to shut it out. So you have to be careful. You can't be forcing anything on people. You have to be subtle, and it's different for everybody, different for every situation. But no, we haven't received any pushback. People know what we're about, and they respect it.
Yeah. So what do you see and I know that God shows up in these moments, and how do you navigate that? I mean, because you also are running a business, you've got people to see, you have your technical side of what you do. It's you're an excellent skin surgeon, but what is it how do you see the Lord move in that from a value standpoint versus whether you're cutting out a melanoma, doing some kind of skin graft, or you're actually ministering to someone? Do you find value in all of those arenas equally?
Sure. I mean, we are helping people. I mean, that God has given us modern medicine to help people with tumors that in the past would cause all kinds of pain and terrible side effects if you go back even a couple hundred years.
Yeah.
So we're providing a service there, and then when opportunity presents itself, we can, kind of hit the spiritual side.
Yeah.
We'll have people say, hey, what's that book about? And, I'm trying to figure things out. What do you think? And I'll say, well, here's my story, read my book. We've had people come in that were believers and they were kind of down and out, or something that happened to them, and And we'll say, well, here, read the book, take a Bible, get back to the Lord, and just little things. He doesn't need much.
Yeah.
He doesn't need us to give sermons in here or lecture people. Just a little encouragement, a little book, a little push here or there with a positive attitude and a little love is all you need.
One of the things, from a teaching standpoint, we say be the good news. Like, the best way to share the good news is to be the good news.
That's right.
Like, become the good news in somebody's life, and certainly do that. Now, one of the things I'm interested in is, so you have your profession, right, which you had your education for that, but you also have this idea of managing and operating a business, when it comes to your employees, when it comes to how you engage with them on a daily basis, right? So it's always that kind of narrative of, it's one thing to declare God out of your mouth and profess your faith, but the most intimate relationships get to see how that faith is lived out. So in your relationship to your employees, how does your faith begin to integrate in how you run your business on a day-to-day basis? Because there's a lot of demand here. I mean, you've got 20 probably employees, 15? I don't know, 15 employees. So what does that look like?
So the key is that you need to have your relationship with the Lord one-on-one strong, and it needs to be daily, because if you're going to come in and treat people like they should, make godly decisions, you want to be filled with the Holy Spirit, letting the Lord almost make your decisions or help you guide them in every situation as you're going. So that if an employee screws up, you don't snap at them. Because the flesh, we still have the flesh, but we've got to have the Spirit to tailor that. Otherwise, you'll be, this guy talks his talk, but he doesn't walk his walk.
Sure.
So if you're going to run your business and declare the Lord, then you be solid in your one-on-one relationship with God first, and then the fruit of that will come out in how you treat people, what kind of decisions you make, being generous, being graceful when people make mistakes, showing them the same love and compassion that you would want, even though you're the boss.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that we'll say often is Jesus would have never looked at somebody and said, hey man, it's not personal, it's just business.
Exactly.
Right? So we can't divide these lines, And I think we're in a season right now where you've got an increase in kind of kingdom entrepreneurism, like people who are integrating their faith. Like, we're just in a season where it's emerging, and it's going to become more commonplace from what I think. You're starting to see this on a greater scale. Those lines are being drawn, right? And so I think it's exciting to have somebody like yourself who's been doing it now, for the last 10, 12 years, right? Integrating this.
Yeah.
And so you get to be kind of a forerunner and also reach back into the life of, somebody who's maybe just getting started, or maybe they want to do it but don't know how. You know what I mean? So that's kind of a key connection point, is we need forerunners to say, hey, this is what has worked for us. This is how the Lord's been moving here. Here's something to consider. The other thing to kind of wrap up, here, you've got this other dynamic of your heart, which is this ministry evangelism side, knowing you have a heart to share the gospel with people. You do that in your own unique way. You're a communicator, you teach, you speak, and a lot of what you do is focusing on like the medical side of the crucifixion. Like, I've seen your talks on that.
Yeah.
So I love that. Now, how does that conflict or integrate with your day-to-day job? Because if you're going to preach or deliver a sermon series or lead Bible studies, like, there's prep time there. So what does your margin in your life look like to be able to have enough space for Greg with the Father, right? To be able to live out that functionality here, and then be able to go out and kind of make disciples?
Yeah, you have to have balance. So the key is you put the Lord first. You put Him first above everything else in your personal life and in the business. You give the business to Him. And when you do that, He puts everything together. He will orchestrate the time that you need so that you have plenty of family time, ministry time, and time at jobs in their proper order, in their proper place. I don't know how He does it. Like, for example, when I was writing the book, it required a tremendous amount of time. I just had the time then. It was just the way life was flowing.
Sure.
But now I wouldn't have the time to write the book. I'm too busy with other things.
Yeah,
so God's kind of supernaturally natural when He knows that you're in it for Him and you're letting Him guide things and he takes care of all that when you put him first.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Yeah. Well, Greg, man, I just so appreciate your heart and just our relationship and your support for us, and just being a forerunner of actually living this thing out so people can see that it's not impossible. This
Not
is how we do
impossible,
it.
actually pretty easy.
Yeah, this is how we do it. That's it, man. So thank you so much for
Thank you.
for sharing, and thank you guys for taking time to watch.
Thank you.